Dick Cheney. He was out here, as you guys have seen, for the last month, couple of months on TV, on Fox News repeatedly, went on a couple of radio shows, and then came back on TV, on Face the Nation. Then he had his daughter go out and go on MSNBC and Fox News Channel, and they blanketed their airwaves. And people were wondering, and I was wondering, what the hell are they doing here? Are they that gung-ho about defending torture? And they're going to plant their flag in the ground and saying, I am the torture guy, and no matter what, I'm going to defend it. And to me, it didn't make that much sense. Dick Cheney is very politically savvy. It seems like that's not worth it in and of itself. And as I was reading an analysis piece yesterday, it occurred to me the two real reasons that Dick Cheney was out there doing this. One, he wanted to change the question, because the question was, hey, is this legal or illegal? And he didn't like where that national conversation was headed, because it clearly is illegal, and if it's illegal, then you got to do something about it, and doing something about it includes Dick Cheney. So instead, he wanted to change the conversation to, does it work? So he came in, guns blazing, as he always does, and talked about it works, it works, it works, until the whole conversation was changed to, hey, does torture work or not? And if you can convince some people that it works some of the time, then don't worry whether it's legal or illegal, moral or immoral, what should be done about it or not done about it. So that was point number one. But point number two as to why he came out now, that's the interesting part. Because the torture memos have already been released. What's the point? Well, the point wasn't the torture memos. Those are just words. And Cheney knows through experience that words don't matter that much. No, his whole point was to preemptively attack, have you seen this movie before? So they don't release the real damaging information. And that's not words, it's not memos, it's pictures. You see, they were going to release at the end of this month the detainee abuse pictures, what some called Abu Ghraib 2. Those sets of pictures that people in charge have already seen and say are despicable, are horrific. And Cheney knew that if you release those pictures, well, then they've lost the debate. Because then it makes it harder for real people to go out there and be like, yeah, of course, you should do Palestinian hangs. I saw the picture, it rocked. Yeah, you should stick things in people's orifices, etc., etc. No, and you should kill, some of those people died, right? And you should see them bleed to death, etc. No, when you see the pictures, it's game, set, and match. It's all in the pictures, partly because television has trouble covering a story if it doesn't have visuals. And the pictures are the visuals. So they knew they were going to lose the torture debate if those pictures ever came out. They're the whole ball of wax. So, what was the story that happened today? Well, in response to Cheney's PR offensive and some other things that I'll explain to you in a second, Barack Obama crumbled. He gave in and said, oh no, you're right. Releasing the pictures, and now this is their quote, and they're going to own it, would endanger national security. Well, that is nothing short of a disastrous idea. Because now that puts Barack Obama in the position of defending Dick Cheney for the rest of his life. Because he just agreed releasing the pictures endangers national security. Now, the reality is that what happened in the pictures is what endangered national security, not releasing the pictures. Releasing the pictures says, hey, you know what? No, this is a new government. We are a free and open democracy. We believe in that. We're going to show you the good and the bad, and we're going to get beyond it. That was the message we wanted to send, and Obama said he was going to send until he changed his mind. And now instead the message we're sending is, no, we're going to cover it up. And we're back to the same lies and obfuscation and cover-ups that we had before. And now the man responsible for it is Barack Obama. God, what a terrible, stupid mistake. And I know that there are some people who, when Obama does something, they will find any way to defend it. Well, if Obama did it, there must be some secret genius behind it. There is no secret genius behind this. It was asinine. Those pictures are going to come out anyway at some point. So what then, all of a sudden, all of our troops are in danger? No, this isn't about protecting the troops. The guy, so why did he do it? Was it just that he saw Dick Cheney on TV and got scared? No, I don't have that low an estimation of the president. In fact, I have other side of this and the bailout, I have a fairly high estimation of the president, but obviously he's human and he makes mistakes, and this is one of them. So why did he do it? Because he listened to his generals. Now, you might think, hey, that sounds good, right? Listening to the generals, that's what a commander-in-chief should do. Except the generals he's listening to are all compromised. Odierno, who is now in charge of Iraq, General Petraeus, who is in charge of CENTCOM, they were in the chain of command. And who appointed them? George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. And he left them behind as, hey, greeting present for Obama. You think those guys who had... Look, were they directly responsible for the chain of command that led to those pictures? No, not necessarily. But were they responsible for some abuse? Because the abuse was systemic. It was throughout the whole military because it came from the top down. And I think the guys responsible for it, of course, are Rumsfeld, Cheney, and Bush. But were Petraeus and Odierno involved in that chain of command at some point? You think that it might be that when they argue to the president this endangers the troops, in fact what they're actually arguing is it endangers my ass? So they're the most biased people in the whole wide world. It's like saying, oh, well, Cheney and Gonzalez don't think we should release the memos. Well, let me take note of that. Look, I get that, and this is why I have a problem with what happened in the first place. I get that this incites people, that these pictures are used as recruitment tools, and that hurts our troops. But the guilty party is not the ones releasing the pictures and trying to run a decent government. The guilty party are the people who authorized what happened in those pictures. And when Obama does this, he shifts that blame. Now he says, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to cover up for the guys who did this. And if you say that we should release the pictures, you're endangering national security. Well, that shifts the blame on the good guys, when they're not the ones who did this in the first place. And what's terrible about it is, like I said, he is stuck with it now. And now, every time you get into an argument, a right-winger will pull out, oh, even Obama thinks it endangers national security. As if it's your fault for saying, hey, you know what? We should have a decent and open government. What a terrible policy choice.